But quite frankly, in my words, it's the hottest thing in this country, workforce development. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing else doing the things that it's doing, and there's no one else who's going to do what they're doing. I think my approach to workforce is the ever elusive scale. We're always looking for scale. We run programs that are very helpful and very effective and help, a dozen people here, 100 people there, maybe 1,000 are systems, but we never talk about thousands and thousands of impact of people are affected by it, or companies, or across regions. The fact that this body can do that, it now has the ability to run programs, articulate agreements, show the data, report it back, articulate it and talk about it, your communication, and all under the auspices of one body, one association. That to me is, I think, a legacy that I'm excited that I'm a part of, that will only continue to grow as this continues to grow. Legacies are tough because you think about it and how it affects you as an individual. In this case, we're affecting thousands of individuals, whether you work at one of the member association or one of the member boards, or you're a participant that's been helped by one of the workforce boards or involved, or running the companies or industry players that are involved. You're affecting so many aspects of it. It's hard to even quantify how much impact this is having and will have. So I'm excited to be a part of that. Well, the reason we developed Midwest Urban Strategies was there's a need. Like in most things, when you create something that your hope is going to be effective and well, in this case, revolutionary, there was a need. There's a time in 2013, 2014, when the cities that later became Midwest Urban Strategy partners and membership cities, there was a lot of unrest. We didn't have a group to work with and talk to about how to be supportive, but also how to help, and what best practices our other cities were utilizing that could be helpful moving forward. So the idea was, let's form this group, later on we became a community of practice that will be really, that will be connected, even although we're in different cities. How do we connect to each other? Almost like a counseling group, but really it's a professional association that we're able to work together on many things. I'm excited. I'm moving on to a new venture. I'm going to be working at a big network called Strata Education Network. I'm going to be president of one of its affiliate organizations known as the Council on Adult Experiential Learning, or CALE, which is ironically a partner and an agency that works quite closely with Midwest Urban Strategies now. And as it grows, I hope to grow with them, and my company will grow with them as well. There are three things that stand out. The first is the first conversation I had with the representative of the Department of Labor about this idea. We both had different variations of the idea and came together to form what became what it is now. The beauty of that conversation was that it was a kickoff, inaugural conversation, and right away, Department of Labor said there's 5 members, or 5 cities you should talk to immediately. And within a week, we were talking to all 5 of them, which were the backbone cities, backbone members of what's now is known as Midwest Urban Strategies. The second one was the first grant that we secured through our member employee Milwaukee, which I think was American Apprenticeship. And so that was a kickoff from a resource standpoint of showing, one, that this body can raise resources, but two, as a model that brings those resources to each member and allows you to do what you do best in your local market by looking at a scalable approach, which doesn't happen too often in this country. Third one's the fact that it became a standalone 501c3 with its first executive director, Tracy Carey. So those are all sustainable markers that were important and are building blocks for growth that it's only going to continue to sustain. While there's a lot of workforce practitioners in the field, workforce sometimes has a bad name when it should have an exciting name and an innovative name. And sometimes our systems are either forgotten or just not given the credit that it deserves. So one of the things I'm taking from my experience, working with MUS and then others, is that there's a strong workforce system out here that can connect with economic development, that can connect with higher education. And it's the higher education piece that I'm excited about, because that's the missing stool and why I'm going over to CALE to play this intermediary role between higher ed, workforce, industry, and of course, adult learners. So that's how we're going to become an important part of MUS growth for my CALE seat.